Nostalgia Critic.
And I'm Krystal.
We remember it so you don't have to. And today, Krystal and I are reviewing the Tigger movie. So let's get started. So the movie begins in the room of any small boy, but it just so happens to belong to a boy named... Oh, sorry, force of habit. Anyway, the movie actually begins with Tigger interrupting the narrator.
But of all his animal friends, Christopher Robin's very best friend was a bear called Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh? Wait half a darn minute. It seems to me that most of these stories are about that silly old bear.
And once again, Tigger is voiced by the amazing Jim Cummings, who really does have a lot of roles under his belt, but this is a review of the Tigger movie, not a top list of Jim Cummings' best characters.
Oh, fun fact, Jason. This is the first of the Winnie the Pooh films where Tigger's voice is entirely provided by Jim Cummings, following Paul Winchell's retirement in 1999.
Wait a minute, but hasn't Jim provided Tigger's voice in a few episodes of the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh TV series?
Actually, yes, he has. But around that time, he's only provided Tigger's singing voice.
I don't know. I recall a few episodes where Tigger was voiced by Jim. But anyway, let's get into, well, the song. What song? Well, this song, of course.
The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. Their tops are made out of rubber, their bottoms are made out of spring. They're bouncy, croncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one.
Tiggers are cuddly fellas. Tiggers are... Oh, sorry. Anyway, while Tigger is bouncing around, he ends up, well, pouncing into Winnie the Pooh, who is collecting a whole bunch of honey pots so he can, well, have enough honey for winter. Which begs the question, okay, so Pooh needs all these honey pots for winter, but he doesn't ever hibernate during the winter like an actual bear. I guess he just needs it so he can have enough whenever he gets that rumbly in his tumbly. But, whatever. After Tigger doesn't have much luck asking Pooh, Piglet, and Kanga if they would like to go bouncing, he starts to feel a little sad. And then he realizes that he hasn't asked anyone else, so he, well, bounces away, only to cause the very rock he was standing on to, well, fall onto Eeyore's house. Phew, that was close. Anyway, after the rock falls on Eeyore's house, the others show up and, well, they try to remove the rock, only for a disaster to happen. But they end up telling Tigger that they, well, aren't Tiggers, which makes Tigger even more sad, and then we lead to, well, probably one of the saddest songs in this movie, which I can't play due to copyright. Now, Roo takes Tigger over to Owl's house, and Owl tells Tigger about his family history.
Unfortunately, Tigger takes Owl's advice too literally and thinks his family tree is an actual tree covered in stripes.
And while Tigger, Roo, Pooh, and Piglet don't really have much luck in finding that family tree, well, Tigger and Roo, they end up stopping by Tigger's house where Tigger teaches Roo the whoop-de-doop-der loop-de-looper alley-ooper bounce, and then he ends up finding a locket. But unfortunately, the locket is empty. Now, Roo eventually comes up with the idea for Tigger to write a letter to his family. A letter that, unfortunately, never comes. So, Roo, Pooh, and the others, they all decide to write their own letter for Tigger. And then we cut to, well, Round My Family Tree, which is another song. And honestly, it's not really one of my favorites.
There were also a few Easter eggs hidden inside the whole Round My Family Tree song, such as the 5 bear rugs from the Country Bear Jamboree, the Jackson 5, the Brady Bunch. There's even a Tigger that looks just like Marilyn Monroe.
Now, eventually, Roo comes up with the idea for everyone to dress up as Tiggers, so that way Tigger can kind of have a family reunion, when in reality it's just everyone dressed up as Tiggers.
I think it's sweet that Pooh and all of his other friends went through all that trouble just to make Tigger happy. That is, until Rue breaks the ruse when he tries to attempt the, super looper loop-de, whatever it is kind of bounce.
Oh, you mean the whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Thank you, Jason.
Now, eventually, Tigger starts feeling betrayed after he finds out that everyone else was just dressed up as Tiggers. And, well, he ends up leaving by saying, TTFE, ta-ta, forever. And then, well, Rue rushes into Pooh's house, asking for help, and then everyone ends up going over to Rabbit's house.
Well, Rabbit is reluctant at first, but he eventually goes along with them.
And while Tigger is away on his own, he does eventually, well, find his family tree, but unfortunately, the tree is empty. And Tigger decides to wait until eventually Rue spots Tigger and, well, Rabbit tries to tell Tigger to go back home, but Tigger doesn't want to because he wants to wait for his actual family to come back to the tree. And this causes an argument between Tigger and Rabbit in the process.
Unfortunately, this argument leads to an avalanche. Luckily, Tigger is able to save his friends, but in doing so, he ends up getting swept away.
Luckily, Rue ends up saving Tigger with the whoop-de-doop loop-de-looper alley-ooper bounce. And after saving Tigger, well, the gang, they end up being, well, Christopher Robin ends up finding the gang, and, well, they basically tell Tigger that they are his family. Like, they always have been. And that's really, really sweet. Although then again, this is Winnie the Pooh. We're kind of used to having really, really sweet moments with this silly old bear.
You know what? I think this movie teaches us a very valuable lesson. Family isn't about blood and genetics. It's about being surrounded by all the people who love and care for each other. Especially you.
Hey, Krystal, what's your favorite song from this movie?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, there are a lot of great songs in this movie. But I'd have to say my favorite song would be Your Heart Will Lead You Home, sung by Kenny Loggins.
I have to say, that song is really good too. In fact, I think it's my favorite as well.
Jason, before we end the video, can I talk to you about something?
Sure thing, Krystal. What is it?
Well, it's about another certain movie, which I won't mention for personal reasons, and I feel really bad for asking this, but is there any chance we could talk about it together?
Are you sure, Krystal? Last time I tried to review it, you got really mad.
Look, I know it sounds bad because I'm kind of asking you to break your promise, but can it just be like a quick review? You know, a short summary?
But you don't like that movie.
You're right, I don't like that movie. I never will. Not again, anyway. But, you know how when you feel so guilty about something, you can't just push it to the back of the mind because it slowly eats you away like a termite eating wood?
Okay, that's a bizarre way of putting it.
Okay, I will admit, no one has ever used that analogy before. But that's kinda how I feel right now.
Well, I don't want you to get angry again, but if that's how you feel, okay. We can give it one more chance.
promise it'll be a quick review?
Yes, Krystal, I promise. Cross my heart.
You promise to only use still images?
No clips, just pictures.
And you promise...
Krystal, you're my friend. And I swear to God that I will not include the you-know-what scene. Does that make sense better?
Well, I'm a little happy. But there's still one more thing I'm worried about.
Jesus, you have a lot of expectations, don't you? I mean, yes, I won't tell the Count about any of this. Heck, I'll even give Shadow a call so the Count doesn't pull anything. Not even Shadow likes seeing you miserable.
Okay. But... could we do it sometime around next year?
Yes, we can. Bring it in, you.
Thank you, Jason.